I learned absolutely nothing about Black history in school. This is a photograph of my father when he got a job up on Tuxedo Island in 1966. This is a picture of my great-grandparents, the ones that came from Oklahoma, brought at the turn of the 20th century. This is Sylvia Stark. She's one of the Black pioneers on Salt Spring Island. It's important for people to know about the contributions that these pioneers have made to the province of British Columbia. My name is Anthony Brown, and actually I am an historian / Renaissance man. I'm a 7th-generation Black Canadian on my father's side and a 3rd-generation Black Canadian on my mother's side. My father's side came from Nova Scotia. They were Scotian. I landed in Birchtown in 1875 under the guidance of Harriet Tubman. I can trace my mother's roots right back to the plantation where they were enslaved in South Carolina. My great-grandparents on my mother's side, they came to Canada because of the Jim Crow laws in the United States where Blacks were being lynched with the emergence of the Klan and the political turmoil in America. Instead of putting up with the system, they came to Canada. They had the fortitude and the smarts to come here. But yet, there was a lot of racism in Canada too. I was born in East Vancouver. And then my father ended up getting a job on Tuxedo Island in a place called Blubber Bay, which is an open pit mine. And I remember being from East Vancouver, where it was a multitude of different cultures, of different people, and then moving to Tuxedo Island, where there were no people of color. And I remember getting on the school bus and the kids, call me the N-word and this, that, and the other. And when you're told that you're Black and you're not going to amount to anything, you actually start believing that. People still come up to me, and whether it's a conversation piece at a dinner party or whatever the case may be, and say kind of juvenile things that you got a nice tan because, it's hot outside. Those things, they get a little tiresome, right? Black history in BC is important because it's never been told, and it's time that it gets showcased. I didn't know anything until I went for a hike on Salt Spring Island. This truck pulls up. This Black lady gets out. She goes, what family are you from? And I look at her and I'm saying, what do you mean family? And she was telling me about all these people that came to Salt Spring Island, Sylvia Stark and her family, and she took me to the graveyard and showed me where all these Black people were buried. And that's when I decided I wanted to be a filmmaker. That's when I decided I wanted to tell their story. And this story about the Black pioneers of British Columbia, it's a big story of a small group of people and the fortitude to go forward. The title of my second film is Secret Victoria, The Rush for Freedom, about the first Black pioneers of British Columbia.
Entrepreneurs to laborers, barbers and restaurateurs, farmers. And so they spread out quite diversely through Victoria and British Columbia society.
I've had people come up to me on the street, hey, I saw you on TV. Hey, I never knew that. That's the power of film, the power of media. It's the change in people's attitudes. I was an angry young man. I didn't know who I was as a person. I was not comfortable in my own skin. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten to know who I am, and I actually love who I am. I want to write stories that tell the truth, and I want to put it in the public school system as a learning tool. We have to be better as teachers. We have to be better as parents to teach our kids properly. And sooner or later, this attitude of racism, hopefully, if everybody can just do their little bit, things will change. And that's my hope. That is my hope for the future. I really wanted to say that.